Hey, my name is Mikhail. I'm a 15-year-old neurotech developer. Got my start in the field by creating a communication tool for nonverbal individuals using a brain-computer interface. Then, after a few projects, I started working on an academic article with the co-founder of a company partnered with OpenBCI known as BrainFlow, a powerful library intended to allow people to develop and really get into the space. Last month, I had this sudden interest in focus and concentration. I was really trying to find the secret sauce to optimize myself and make sure that I was as productive as possible. And so, as I was scrolling through my internet feed, I came across something shocking. Each and every one of us on this Zoom call today has a shorter attention span than that of a goldfish. From there, I had a multitude of questions. How could this be? What was the cause of such a low attention span? How detrimental is this to the average human being? And that brought me to the final question. How do we harness our attention to focus deeper, get distracted less, and even become more creative using brain-computer interface? Introducing Mindly, an application that I am creating that involves a feedback loop, auditory stimuli like binaural beats, and visual stimuli like flashing lights to ultimately optimize yourself to reach certain states like relaxation or concentration or alertness. In order to get to these states, it's really important to have a good understanding of neural oscillations. The way I like to describe neural oscillations are these repetitive rhythmic synchronized frequency patterns in the CNS, the central nervous system. They're visualized in terms of frequency and measured in units of hertz. Clusters of neural oscillations can be characterized by the frequency range in which they occur. For instance, alpha waves, which are at approximately 7.5 to 12.5 hertz, are commonly associated with cognitive functions. Gamma waves, which are at around 30 to 70 hertz, are fast waves associated with attention, consciousness, and perception. Now, going back to the concept of the app, let's say that I wanted to optimize for relaxation through neurofeedback. We would use a specific training protocol called alpha theta training, in which both alpha and theta brain waves are increased. Theta waves are present during relaxation as well as sleep. It allows us to get into a dream-like state, a time for the brain to slow down and relax. So if we wanted to apply the alpha theta training to increase the waves, the app would create a neurofeedback loop in which brainwaves are acquired through EEG channels from the user, then processed by an algorithm, and in response, auditory and visual feedback is tailored on the EEG activity. Finally, the stimulus entrains the user's EEG activity to a desired frequency, and the whole process repeats again and again. For the audio stimuli, there are realistically two options that the user has: binaural beats and isochronic tones. Each of these options use the same concept of auditory entrainment, but have completely different modulation depth. What really sets the two apart is the overall idea of two different tones at slightly different frequencies entering. So what really makes these two auditory stimulations the same is the overall idea of these two different sort of tones at slightly different frequencies entering separately into each ear. And then from there, your brain basically perceives the differences between these two frequencies. In terms of the two options, binaural beats have a low modulation depth, meaning that they are unlikely to produce any significant entrainment, but is still relaxing. Isochronic tones, on the other hand, are regular beats of a single tone. An isochronic tone is a tone that is being turned on and off rapidly. They create sharp, distinctive pulses of sound. The volume or intensity of the sound goes almost directly from 0 to 100 and back again in an evenly spaced manner. So realistically, this form of auditory entrainment is the most effective type. Now, in terms of the visual stimuli, the imbalance in brain cell activity would be caused by exposure to low frequency flashing of a relatively bright light. The concept of visual stimuli is much more drastic and effective compared to other audio entrainment stimulations. The light would basically flash at the exact frequency at which you would like to alter your brain at. Now, both of these forms of entrainment are great. However, together, they are unstoppable. Now, we've talked a lot about what I've been working on. However, the truth is that within the industry, there's so many more applications, from neurostimulation to neuroprosthetics. But here's the thing. Since August, I have been literally eating, sleeping, and breathing BCIs. And the one thing that I've noticed is that almost every company struggles to niche down. The problem with the brain-computer interface industry is that we're using shotguns and all the other emerging industries have sniper rifles. We need to get much more precise and targeted with the technology if we're going to get on top and become the industry we all want it to become. Thank you.